All right, everyone. Welcome again to another episode where I get the opportunity, the privilege of speaking to one of my students. And today I have the privilege of speaking to Erina. Erina, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Now, Erina,
I'm good.
I want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name properly. Is it Erina?
Erina, yes.
Erina. Excellent.
That's correct. Erina.
Perfect. Well, Erina, we are going to get the opportunity today to learn more about you and your amazing story. So, would you mind
Mm-hmm.
introducing yourself? Where are you from? Your hobbies, your family, whatever you'd like to share with us.
Okay, just a short one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my name is Erina
Mm-hmm.
Indriana,
Mm-hmm.
but you can call me Erina.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mother of a 13 years old son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm almost 40 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and I work for government institution. I work as a librarian for government institution in my
Mm-hmm.
province, and I really love my job.
I love it. And where do you live? What's your country for those listening and
Oh
watching?
yeah, I lived in Indonesia.
Indonesia,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. You said something very interesting. You said first you have a 13-year-old son, and then you said your job, you love your job. So first I want to ask you,
I do.
your 13-year-old son, can you tell us about what it's like being a mom?
Oh, it's really amazing being a mom.
Yeah?
It seems that uh I have a very much memory with my son, but
Mm.
I feel like I don't want him to grow up, but he grow up.
They grow too fast, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I have a niece as well. She's 13 and
Oh,
she's taller than me, Irina. She's taller than me.
oh,
And
really?
yes, and when I look
How
at her,
tall are you are?
I'm
Teacher
five
Tiffany, how?
5'6". So I'm
Yeah.
average height for a female, but my
Uh-huh.
niece, so her father, my brother-in-law, is very, very tall. He's about 6'4". He's very tall, like a basketball player. So
In centimeters? How much is that?
so we don't use centimeters in America. So you
Oh,
might have to we use so
I
he's six
see.
foot five, but very tall. But to go back to what you were saying with you don't want your son to grow up, when I look at my niece, I remember the day she was born. I remember holding her little body, and now that little body I have to look up to because she's so much taller than me. So yeah,
Yeah.
kids grow very fast.
Yeah.
They grow very fast.
Yes.
You mentioned also that you really like your job. And honestly, that
Mm-hmm.
is something that many people can't say. I also love what I do. I enjoy being a teacher, I enjoy helping you all. But can you give us some more information about that? What kind of job do you do, and why do you love it so much? Why do you really enjoy it?
I think, you know, um, as a librarian, I was doing a lot of things actually. Um, every single day I do, shelving, like putting the books on the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about being a librarian, the spectrum of being a librarian is really wide with their activity.
Yeah.
So um, sometimes I do social media, but not really intense. My friends would do that really intense. But most of the thing is that my job is that like encouraging people to to be smart,
Mm-hmm.
encouraging people to what um to concern about literacy, because
Mm-hmm.
we are
Mm-hmm.
helping the government to 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 develop to develop
Yeah.
the literacy in our country, because we
Good.
are grow we are coming to the next golden Indonesia that we assume it's going to be to 20 2045.
Yeah.
So we have to prepare the society since now,
I love it.
kind of thing like that.
I love that. I love that. Okay. That makes so much sense. And I love that you said there's this focus on literacy, really helping people
Hmm.
develop themselves. And it seems like you're really focused on the mind as well. So I'm sure your son is a very smart young man. He has an amazing mom. So I'm sure he's a very smart young man. So then that brings me to the next question I want to ask you. When it comes to Indonesia and this golden Indonesia, you said around 2045, right? This
Yes.
focus on education. As your English teacher, now it makes me think about you. So, what made you think about English and want to, or even have the desire to improve your English skills? Because English is also about improving your knowledge and your ability to
Hmm.
express yourself. So, what made you decide it's not just about Indonesia, not just about my own people? I also want
Hmm.
to master this other language. What made you decide to study English?
Well, actually, I started studying English since I was a teenage, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, and I just I just can't say exactly the reason because at that time I was just thinking English was really, really cool because, you know, as an international language, English, I thought English was really, really cool. Because at that time I got so enthusiastic with, boy bands and
Mm-hmm.
MTV, like the series of Friends
Yeah.
and some American singers. I have my favorite American singer,
Uh-huh.
Teacher Tiffany,
Uh-huh.
Mariah Carey with the
Yes.
hero.
There's a
That's
hero. Yeah.
Yeah. If you look inside your heart,
Yeah, sing it. Yes.
you don't have to be afraid of what you
You
are.
are. Hit the note. Get it? You? You got it?
Yes.
You can
There
find.
is an
Go ahead.
No, I can't remember all lyrics. Just
It's okay. It turned into a concert. For those watching or listening, Yelisa and I were, not Yelisa, excuse me. I talked to her before you. We are happy. Erina and I are happy to sing songs. So continue, continue.
next time.
Next time. Yes, next time. I love it. I love it.
I
I love
get.
it. I love it. I will, before I go to the next thing, at the beginning, before we started recording, I promised you by the middle, you'd be less nervous. When I heard you sing that song, I said, I think Erina is okay now. She's singing. Maybe she's not nervous anymore. We're good. Okay, so let me ask you this then. Okay, so you said that English was just something interesting, right? You started when you were a teenager. There were boy bands, MTV back in the day,
Mhm,
right? But now you are an adult. You have a 13-year-old
mhm.
son. You already have a career. You are living your life. And it seems like you're very happy in Indonesia, right? Why did you decide to join the academy, the Speak English with Tiffany Academy? English is not necessarily needed for your job. So, what was the reason that led you to come to the academy, and why are you still with us?
Because I love English. I was falling in love with English, and I
Mm,
I kind of find some friends to like a community for improving my English.
mm, mm,
And I found you on YouTube. And you know what?
mm,
Since the first time, I knew you, I noticed that you are so good. I noticed that your language was, for me,
mm,
is really understandable. I mean, your language wasn't too fast. At the
mm,
same time, it
mm,
wasn't too slow. So I think it's
mm.
it's it's in the middle of that. And I love the way you talk. I love the way you teach.
Oh, thank you.
It seems like you gave off what you have to the students, and the students take it from you, and it's pretty much like give and take or take and give. Give and take or give
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 and
and
take.
take or take and give. Yes, give and take relationship, kind of thing like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, I'm happy. Thank you for your kind words. I enjoy helping English learners around the world. So I'm glad you decided to jump into the academy. And let me ask this. So you're a part of the daily English lessons program, right? The 365 lessons?
Yes,
So you're part of
I
that.
took 365 days program of the course.
Okay, so tell me this. What do you enjoy the most about that program?
American culture.
Ah, tell me more. Tell me more.
Yeah, because American people are love, like gathering with your family,
Hmm.
like that.
And for those that are not maybe in the academy, for those in the academy,
Mhm.
they know what you're speaking about. So, how did you learn more about American culture? How are you learning more about American culture in the academy? Which lessons are they? The audio lessons, the videos? Which
The
part?
videos, the
Mm-hmm.
videos.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the last thing of the material, it's um Thanksgiving.
Yes.
No.
Thanksgiving
Before that,
for that one.
before Thanksgiving, I just forgot. I
Subway.
just forgot that. Yeah, Subway,
That was a good
Subway,
one. You like that?
Subway.
Mm. What did you like about the Subway video where I explained Subway? What did you like about that one?
Uh, Wait a minute. I think I just forgot that Subway. Can you just give me
Sure.
some?
Sure,
Uh-huh.
yeah. That was the one. Remember, I have the camera and I'm actually following the person as they're making the sandwich. They're
Hmm.
putting on things on the sandwich. That video.
The music on the street, the
Oh, that
music on
was
the
New
street.
York. That was New York. Yes.
Yeah,
In New York and the
yes,
subway.
yeah,
For those watching or listening to this conversation, you'll see there are lots of videos in the academy and we've just talked about 3 for the culture out of the 365. So yes, the New York one, that was fun. I enjoyed that one.
yeah. New York, the
Yeah.
music on the street.
I like that one too. Okay, well then let me know this. So you've clearly seen a lot of the lessons so far. You're still following the plan, right? Can you tell
Yes, but I didn't
us?
finish the
It's
lesson.
okay. You're still on your
To
journey.
be honest.
It's okay. It's all right. That's the beauty of the program is I've given everyone a daily plan, right?
Hmm.
What we say in English, life happens. It means work can get busy. You have a family, things happen. So it's totally okay. And I always encourage students, it's all right. Just come back and study when you get time. So it's no problem. It's all right. But
Yeah,
I do want to
I will
ask
try.
though, of course, I do want to
I
ask
will
you
try.
though, because you have a child, you are busy at work. How do you currently study English? Do you study for a few minutes in the morning before work? Do you study in the evening after work? What is your study schedule?
Well, I think I just do that just randomly.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I could do that when I'm at work. Sometimes I could do that when I'm at home, just
Mm-hmm.
randomly.
Randomly. Okay. And do you use your phone or your computer?
Uh, my laptop, my
Laptop?
laptop, almost of the time.
Most of the time. Okay, good. So, how has your life changed after speaking English? How has your life changed? Give us some more details about
I
your life.
think my life has changed um since I think since I tried to create my own opportunity.
Mm,
Like I try to make a connection between English and my
mm,
profession as a librarian.
mm.
So recently I established my own channel on YouTube
Wow!
and
Congratulations.
just still growing,
That's
still growing.
good.
So I established my channel on YouTube and which are sometimes contains some information about my library and some of them are in English.
Nice.
And when my friend sees that, they get impressed.
Yeah.
And eventually, when my boss sees that,
Yes.
he got really impressed, and I think it's really a big achievement.
That's amazing. What is your channel name? What's your YouTube channel name?
Erina Indriana.
Okay, everyone, you're hearing it. Erina, Erina. And
Yes.
then Indriana is Indri.
Ndriana.
Uh-huh. Perfect. I want to make sure everyone heard that clearly. Write it down and please support Erina on her YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Of course, of course. My next
Thank
question.
you, Teacher Tiffani, for supporting me.
Of course. I just had last week's conversation was with Fred, another member of our family, and I was telling
Fred.
you know Fred, of course, right?
Yes, he was helping me
I
a
love
lot.
I love it. I mentioned to him, I said, Fred, I love when you all flourish, when you all have ideas and you just run with them and you do these amazing things like starting a YouTube channel. So I am happy to support you all. I'm happy to let other people know what you're doing. That's a very big accomplishment. I love it.
Yeah.
So
I'm moving forward, Teacher Tiffani.
I love that.
I'm still moving forward.
That's right. It's always
and
about.
I was trying my best. I will try my best.
And I believe
I would take
do it.
I would take any kind of chance.
That's good. I love it. I love it. Okay, well then let me ask you this. You just told us that you started a YouTube channel and you said you're passionate about studying English. I want you to give some advice to the person watching this conversation or listening to it. What do you think, in your opinion, is the most important thing for an English learner to remember? If you could give someone advice, what would you tell them is the most important thing to remember?
Well, I would say that, sometimes learning English today sometimes could be pretty challenging for me because I mean it's extremely different back then when I was a teenage, roughly 20 to 25 years ago. Because I remember at that time English was not so accessible, just like what we have today.
Yeah.
So sometimes the problem is that uh when you want to get focused with one source, for example, and then you get distracted by another source, like people want to see a channel on YouTube and then they got distracted by another channel, and I think it happens a very much time. And so I would suggest that maybe try to from my personal experience, try to reinforce by questioning yourself, like why you are here, and then what is the reason of learning, and then what kind of efforts that you want to do, what kind of thing that you want to give to people. I mean, try to not falling apart from the intention, from the purpose that you've built since earlier. I think it's going to be so powerful.
Great.
And
stay focused, right? Keep going.
Another thing I think would be just be focused. Just be focused with yourself without getting distracted by someone else. I mean, you can take advantage from someone else, from people surrounded, but it doesn't mean that you have to be like them.
True.
Because Teacher Tiffani, I strongly believe that everyone is special.
Yes.
Everyone has their own values and uniqueness and personality. I think all you need to do is just try to explore the thing that you have in yourself. Yeah, and just be focused. That would be my suggestion, I think.
Good advice. Good advice. Good advice. Thank you so much. Be focused, recognize your own unique
Yeah,
characteristics as opposed to comparing yourself to others. Great advice. Well, I have
be
one last
focused with
question.
yourself.
I have one last question for you. Do you have any questions for me? That's the last question. Do you have any
Well,
questions?
actually, I haven't prepared for a question for you. Can I?
It depends. So we only have a short time, but let's see.
Oh,
Let's speed round. Let's
okay.
do it. Let's do it.
Okay, speed around. Okay, because I'm a librarian, I really want to know, do you go to the library on a daily basis? Or maybe you have like a special time to go to the library?
So no, it's not common that
Oh,
I go to the library because times have changed. So I do
mhm.
read. I have tons of books, but now I have online books that I can
Oh,
download.
is it?
So I still read, yes, but yeah, I don't have the amount of time. For example, when I was back in school years ago, I had that time, but if it's not in when I have kids, I'll take them to the library. But now at this age, I don't. When I have a short break, I'll go to my room or I'll go to a different part
Uh-huh.
of my office and I'll read. So I do read, but no. It's not really that common for adults here to go to the library just because of the time. But if they have children, they go. But they still read. I go to Barnes and Noble. Barnes and Noble is a bookstore.
Barnes Noble
So imagine it being
in
a
Maryland.
yeah, imagine it being a library, but they sell books. So I guess that's where adults go. You go and you sit and read
Ah,
there. So
yeah,
reading is still very important, but the library, normally a lot of adults that I know will go to like a bookstore where they can read a book and actually buy it and
yeah.
highlight and stuff. So mhm. Number two,
Uh,
speed round.
Number two. This is actually the question. I notice this is the question that you frequently ask your native speaker friends.
Mhm.
I also want to know, what is your life philosophy?
My life philosophy. My life
Yes.
philosophy is help as many people as you possibly can. In other words, try to serve someone every single day. That is why I'm happy to be a teacher.
Same with me, teacher Tiffany.
I
Same with me.
love
I
it.
also want to give I also want to give benefits to others.
I love it. I love it. You got the next one?
Uh, I think this is in terms of learning English.
Mm-hmm.
Um, please tell me, what would I do if I found some, you know, like hard English to understand? Should I just neglect that or keep hearing that with a full of attention? What do you think?
It depends on where and when you heard that expression or word. For example, if you're watching a television program and something difficult comes on, or someone in the episode says a difficult word, you don't necessarily have to stop. Just keep watching and you'll understand the context. If you're reading a book that is important for an exam, then yes, stop and try to find the word. But if you're reading like a novel just for enjoyment, keep reading and the context will come up. If you can't figure it out after 2 or 3 pages, then go back and write it down. Keep reading, then go back and then look it up. So notice I said three
So you
times.
just
Read it first,
read
continue
first.
reading. If you don't understand, read it again. When you read it the second time, just write down the expression. Don't look it up yet. Keep reading.
Oh,
The third time,
so
read
don't
it.
look up the whole things, the whole things. You don't need to have to look up the whole things.
Well, there's 3 steps. Remember the 3 steps.
Mhm,
Step one, read it.
mhm,
Step two, read it again, write down the expression. Step
mhm.
three, read it a third time and then look it up. Why am I saying this? Our brains are more amazing than we realize. Many times, English learners, they get stuck. I don't know that word. Relax. Think about a baby. A baby does not know anything, but a baby just continues to listen, to put things together. Oh, my mom
Mhm.
said water. Whenever she says water, it's when this liquid is coming out of the sink. Ah, that's water. The first time the baby doesn't know it. The second time,
Mhm.
suddenly, maybe it's that. Third time, ah, that's what it is. So as adults, it's important to do the exact same thing. Give your brain the opportunity to make a connection instead of saying, brain, stop thinking, I'm going to find it. I'm going to make sure I know exactly what it is. When you do it 3 times, By that third time, you might actually already know what the word means. When you read it a third time, the context, maybe it means this. Then you look it up and you're like, I was right. That presents you with an opportunity to be more confident. I got it before I even looked up the word. That makes sense?
I see. So it's kind of like repetition.
It's not necessarily repetition. It's your brain is processing. It's not just memorizing. Like repetition is just over and over again, right? It's not that. Your brain needs to process it, right? So you're processing information. You're not just reading the word over again. You're reading the page. If you're reading a book, read the page, understand the context. The context is the key.
Okay, I got it.
Got it? Good job. What's the number 4? Last question. What's the 4th question?
I think also about library. How do you see the library in the United States?
Again,
Especially in
it goes back to again, the library is connected to, honestly, like, kids use the library more because times have changed. When I was younger, I used the library all the time. But also when I was younger, the internet was really not a thing. Like, we had to go to the library to look up in the catalog of papers, right? Now they have the internet. They have online bookstores, ebooks. So it's not that the library is not important. It's just the library has taken a different form now. So you don't have to physically go to an actual building. It's just different now. So we do have libraries, but it's just a matter. It's still there. But the thing is, it's not just going to the library now. People still read, but they read in their homes. So I don't have a negative or positive view. It's just libraries are good. People are still reading. It's just in a different form now.
As a librarian, we have our own mini library at house, actually. Besides the house, we have our mini library in the garage. And it's still accessible for my neighborhood to come in.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. That's great. I think it's good to read. I think it's definitely good to read.
Yeah.
Well, Erina, thank you so much. We did the 4-question speed round. Now for students upcoming, normally it's 1 or 2 questions, but Erina asked the 4 questions quickly and we were able to get through them. So, Erina,
thank you very much, Teacher Tiffani, for 4 questions.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, Erina. I really enjoyed. Yes. I hope you have
It's really amazing. It's really amazing to have you.
Thanks you.
Thanks also for having me.
Of course, of course. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and I hope you have a wonderful day tomorrow as well.
Okay.
All right, hon. Bye-bye.
Bye, Teacher Tiffani.
Bye-bye.